Welcome to a special edition of the CK Podcast. Man, I think I messed up my whole thing. Look at that. Wrong. La 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 la. There you go. See? Good thing I looked, man. All right, now it's connected. It's connected, man. Uh, Welcome to a special edition of the CK Podcast. I'm your host, Leo Bias. So excited to be here again and talk about today's Zoom call meetings with head coach Luke Walton and De'Aaron Fox from your Sacramento Kings. We'll also get into some NBA basketball. We'll break down the Kings' 8 games, right? And those came out last week. I haven't had a chance to break those down. What do I think? Well, they won enough games to be in contention for that final 8th spot in the Western Conference. We'll get into that. There's some Marvin Bagley talk. That's what Luke Walton discussed today. And a huge shout out to Crossover Culture, man. Their merch is fire. And I've said this, I'm going to say it again. Nicest basketball logo on the market right now. You guys can also call in at 209-565-3079. Again, that's 209-565-3079. Shout out to all the peeps on Basketball Zone. We finally reached 10,000 followers, man. Big time milestone for us. It's not huge, but it's heading into the right direction, and I love that because the channel, the page has had a lot of growth recently. But yeah, also a huge shout out to Valley Tire Center for sponsoring this podcast. We're having great deals right now locally. If you're all about supporting your local businesses, please make sure to support Valley Tire Center the same way they've supported us for a very long time now. They're having great deals on Cooper tires right now, and so many other services that they offer. $25 batteries. They got the water tubes for $10. Great deals, guys. So make sure to follow Valley Tire Center on Instagram and on Facebook. How's everybody doing, man? What's up? This is going to be some tea. That's right. You guys can call in again one more time. It's 209-565-3079. All right. Let's discuss what Luke Walton said first before we get into De'Aaron Fox. So Luke Walton came on first and said that he likes where the team is at. Obviously, every player that he will call, they're going to tell him, hey, coach, I'm in good shape. And he said he was pleasantly surprised. But again, that's what coaches want to hear. They want to hear that their players are doing the right things, even when they're not being, quote unquote, babysitted, right? So that's a positive sign, without question. He also spoke about Marvin Bagley. He says he's healthy, he looks good, and he also said that he missed a lot of time and that the other big guys like Harry Giles, Bielitsa, Harrison Barnes, Alex Len, and my guy, I'm slipping on his name, Rashawn Holmes, man. I'm not sharp at all today. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not sharp today. That all the big guys have done a wonderful job. So he's going to see what Marvin can do during their little training camp, which I believe starts on July 8th. And we'll see. And he'll see from there. It's not a guarantee that he gets those minutes because he's a number 2 pick. So for all the people that are like, well, he's automatically locked in, I'm glad he's not, because he has to earn it. And if he plays hard in practice and if he earns it, without question, he should be playing. Now, if you look at it from just a talent perspective, then sure, he should be playing. But I like the fact that Coach Luke Walton said that he's going to have to earn it. And that just gets the competitive juices for all the players going at a higher rate. And that's what you want. You want that competitive spirit. And you want to build that culture that the Kings badly need and they have to improve on. They want to end this playoff drought without question. Like, they have to end this playoff drought. This is a chance. They got 8 games, and we'll go over that. Luke also talked about Jabari Parker. So Jabari Parker was apparently cleared from his self-isolation, And, he said that he essentially just has to be careful, that he shouldn't have been in public. So he felt great. I feel like Jabari feels good. Buddy told me that he feels good about this entire thing, that the virus really hasn't affected him much. So I think that these guys are just trying to stay active. Was it right what he did? No, especially if they told him to stay inside. So it's tough. Like, I get it from being an athlete and being super competitive. You want to stay up to date on everything. Like, you want to keep your body in good shape. And he was out playing tennis. Wasn't the right thing to do, especially now with COVID and the deaths that we've seen. So, hopefully they find a vaccine soon and we can go back to normal. There's also some things that I do know that I'll probably be discussing in a few weeks about how to essentially bring back fans. I can't discuss it right now, but I'm going to hint at it, and it's a device that's going to help out a lot, and it is on its way to being FDA approved. I can't wait to talk about it. Something else that Luke Walton talked about was well, he said that he hasn't paid much attention to the national media disrespecting the Kings, not really giving the Kings a shot to make the playoffs. Not really his biggest concern, honestly, and it shouldn't be, because as a head coach, you have to put your players in the best positions to succeed, and that's not worrying about what the national media has to say. In all honesty, he's also said that there hasn't been one player or a coach that has gone to him and said that they don't feel comfortable playing. Everybody has been very respectful of the rules for COVID-19. You got assistant coaches wearing masks, and he's going to focus a lot on his players being conditioned physically in preparation for this season, for the restart of the season. So those are some of the main topics that he hit on. Both videos will be available on our YouTube channel very, very soon. Once this ends, I'll probably get a link from the Kings to post, so you guys can see those videos in their entirety as well. So yeah, pretty much Kings have been good about the guidelines. Marvin Bagley is ready to rock and roll, but he's gonna have to earn the spot, which is a good thing. Let me see. Let me see the notes. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty much those. I believe those were the biggest things. And I guess one last thing is, it's very important to highlight social justice on the NBA platform, and you're gonna have millions of people watching, so it's key. It's key. It's a great way to bring awareness to it, as Coach Walton said, and let's see how they take advantage of the spotlight. I hope it's a great way to continue to bring awareness, and we have open dialogue to create change, because it's really needed, and we all know that the system is broken, so we need to fix it, plain and simple. So you guys can call in and ask any questions at 209-565-3079. Again, that's 209-565-3079. How is everybody doing? Is Jabari going to play Wimbledon this summer? Nah, I don't think so. Who do you see winning those big guy spots long run? I know it's early, but just if you were to speculate, if the Kings mentioned anything about free agency, nothing was mentioned about free agency. Man, if I had to speculate, it's so hard right now. Obviously, from a talent perspective, Bagley should be there, but if you remove Bagley from the equation, it's difficult even then, because then you got the whole Len versus Harry Giles. Rashawn Holmes is the only lock to be the starting center and to play the bulk of the minutes. So after that, it's Bagley, Len, Harry Giles. So you got three guys that are going to be hungry to play and to perform at a high level. We'll see what happens between those guys. De'Aaron Fox came in with short hair. So it's funny. I'm growing out my hair, and he chopped off his hair. I like what he said, that he would always just be curling his hair, and Coach Cal would yell at him, and those are the things that I catch myself doing now. Like when my curls, I'm just rolling them, I'm just playing with my hair. I'm just like, it's just at a point it gets annoying, even for the person who has the hair. I can't imagine having so much hair and it being so heavy, and especially in hot conditions. So De'Aaron said it's not coming back. He feels very comfortable. He'd rather carry a brush, and I think that's a lot more convenient. It's easier. You can just take a shower and you're done. You don't have to worry about all the other things that comes with having long hair, and the product that you put into your hair. All those things, man. Trust me, it does get annoying for sure. Uh, so he was very adamant about his comments on Twitter about him speaking up, because he felt pretty upset that the national media wouldn't even give the Kings a shot, especially when the Kings have beaten the Memphis Grizzlies, the current 8 seed, 3 out of 4 times this year. And they wouldn't even mention that. And that's what he said verbatim. He also talked about him wanting to be here and leading this organization to the next level, which is the playoffs. He wants to be that guy. I believe he is that guy. And he really took a leap in the year 2020. So he struggled a bit in 2019, had that ankle injury, which is a very tough one to have, especially for a player of his caliber, a player who uses his speed and athleticism. So that was difficult for him. He came back very fast though. So, but it still took him some time to really um, get into the flow of things. And when he did, you just saw a different version of De'Aaron Fox in 2020. You saw that Fox that we would hear about at USA tryouts. And we finally started seeing that, especially in the month of February. And the Kings were one of the best teams before this whole hiatus took away the game that we love so much. I believe he was roughly about 23-8. Uh, that's winning basketball. If you're doing 23-8 and you're winning games, no one's complaining. You're definitely an all-star, and that's where you want your star player to be. So if he's at 23-8, then you got Buddy at 20, then you got Bogey at 15 to 17. You got Harrison at 15 to 17 as well. Rashawn Holmes anywhere from 12 to 15, but if he can grab those 10 boards a game, you're on to something. And if Bagley comes back into the picture, having a guy that came at 13 and 13, those are the numbers that I would like to see that would translate into Kings winning more games. Bogey and Buddy in the starting five, I would love that. I've been a huge advocate of that for a long time. I think they should be starting together, but obviously Luke doesn't see it that way. I'm not the head coach; he is. And again, I'll say this: Buddy, for the most part, is more upset that he was getting 20 to 25 minutes a game, when one thing is coming off the bench and then playing starter minutes. He wasn't playing starter minutes for a few of those last games, and getting benched in the fourth. All those things brings up animosity. Again, he would be okay if the team was winning and him coming off the bench, but him playing big minutes. I mean, that's what Manu Ginobili did. That's what all great six men do. They play starter minutes. So it's not easy to say, well, just play your role and just come off the bench. No, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna come off the bench. I'll put my ego aside, but I'm one of the best players on this team. I should be playing X amount of minutes. I should be contributing, because that's what I do. That's the type of work that I put in, and you can apply that to life in general. So I understand his frustrations, and you should too. Bogey and Buddy are two of the best players on this team. They have to be playing the bulk of the minutes, period. I think the key is for Buddy to start again and to absolutely dominate physically over the other teams, especially Zion. Was it a wake taco between Fox? What is the taco between? See, that's what I don't know. I've been trying to find out what that entire thing was with Fox, and it's in a screenshot. Calling Marvin Bagley's dad a clown. hopefully they squash it internally, and I hope it never comes to light. Even if, again, would I like to know why? Sure. I mean, it's gossip. Everyone likes gossip from that perspective. But if you want this team to succeed, it would be better for it to not come to light. Those things traditionally really hurt teams and their chemistry when things like that come to light. So hopefully they squash it internally and it never comes to light, man. I'm really hoping for that, honestly. If you guys want to call in, it's 209-565-3079. Again, that's 209-565-3079. And De'Aaron was asked about the whole bubble. He said he's just going to sit his ass in the room. Being De'Aaron Fox, he's always very funny, very upfront about things, very blunt. He also said that he doesn't know anyone with COVID-19 besides his teammates that tested positive. So he hasn't came around anyone that has COVID-19. Let's see. De'Aaron Fox says all these games are winnable and that the team has a great chance of making the playoffs. That's exactly the mindset you want your leader to have, because that's a trickle-down effect on all of his teammates. You want that confidence, that swagger that would potentially lead this team and break this dreadful drought of not making the playoffs. 13 long years, man. They got to end it, and this is a great opportunity. All they have to be is 4 games of the 8th spot, and they'll go into this 2-game tournament. They have to win both games. They would have to win both games, and if it's Memphis, I give the Kings a high chance of making the playoffs. I think they're a better team than Memphis, honestly. If they're healthy against a healthy Memphis Grizzlies squad, they're not that much better, but they're better right now, for sure. Who do you see taking a step up in Orlando, and who do you see taking a step back, either on the Kings or in the league? So, I mean, since it's kind of Kings related, who do I see taking a step forward? I see De'Aaron Fox is going crazy. He needs to go crazy. Who do I see taking a step back? I hope nobody. But I could see Alex Len taking a step back in terms of what we knew he was before he came to the Kings. And he's had a marvelous stint with the Kings. Don't get me wrong. But before that, I was like, well, man, he's been injured a lot, and he wasn't the most effective big. If he does get those minutes, I can see him taking a step back. I can see Bazemore taking a step back. Bazemore was pretty bad in his Portland tenure or stint this season before he got to the Kings. I mean, those are two of the names that, again, are their success, their short-term sample success, sustainable is what you must ask yourselves. Is it sustainable? Who knows? I hope so, but I could definitely see those guys taking steps back. Bielitsa is going to do his thing. Bielitsa being on the floor gives you so much work, so much room to work with. The spacing is always going to be solid if he's on the floor. Defensively, yeah, you will struggle, but offensively, it gives Fox so much room to work with. And if they cheat on Fox, it's a kick out to a guy that's an above 40% shooter. So I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances, especially if Richaun Holmes is out there, because Richaun Holmes eliminates so many issues in the pick and roll and just in his post defense. Solid rebounder, just relentless. It works if he's out there. Now, if Bagley or Harry's out there, then it changes the complexity of the team. But with Richaun out there, a healthy, motivated Richaun Holmes, man, I mean, he helps out so much. Let's talk about some Corey Brewer. Again, Corey Brewer, I discussed this on one of the last podcasts. He's a veteran. He brings a lot of experience. He's been in big situations. I don't know how much he'll play, but I also know that he's not going to complain if he doesn't play that much. So that's a good thing. And I just hope that again on the last podcast where I discussed it, I essentially said that I would have liked. Jeez, I'm forgetting everybody's names today. David Naba, yeah, the guy that went to the Rockets. I would have preferred him because he's more physical, he's younger, and I just think he's a better player. But I'm okay because they do have Bazemore, and he's been playing well. They got Buddy, they got Bogey, and there's only so many minutes you can disperse. And in these 8 games, I hope they stick to an 8-man rotation. They have to. They have to think they're in the playoffs already. They have to have that mindset. So even then, that's why I think that ultimately that was the right decision bringing in a guy like Corey Brewer, because it's going to help them in those big moments. Guys, just that veteran leadership that the Kings will need in these big moments, in these games where, again, you got the Spurs. You never count the Spurs. Even if, Aldridge is not playing, even if their other guy is not playing, they're undermanned. But they got Craig Popovich, and anytime you have Greg Popovich as your head coach, you have a chance, period. Without question. That's right. You think the Kings future is as bright as the Hawks or Pelicans? Absolutely. You got De'Aaron Fox on your team. Like, De'Aaron Fox is going to be one of the best players in the NBA barring injury. I mean, he's that good. He's that special. There's a possible way to get Thomas Robinson back. No thanks. We don't need Thomas Robinson. In our own way, we have a stacked team. Yeah, I mean, you want to keep a short rotation. You don't want to bring in all these players in and just mess up the flows. Basketball is all about timing and rhythm. Like, when you don't get your minutes, it messes up everything. So they have to, at most, 9-man rotation, but they should not be playing one of nine guys a game. There's just no way. Like, if you want to win basketball games in the playoffs, your rotation becomes 8 or 9 max, and those guys have to be playing 30 plus. What else did they discuss today? De'Aaron Fox. Again, De'Aaron Fox was very adamant about being here. There was some speculation. I don't know what it was, but De'Aaron pretty much shut that down. He said, you know what, I want to be a King. I want to lead this organization. And that's what a leader says. So props to him. Oh, so one last thing. He did discuss picking up the pace, playing the way they played last year, but still focusing a lot on defense. Now, that's common sense. We all know that if you play that type of tempo, you're going to get exposed sometimes on defense. But if he can still pick it up, again, to me, I would quadruple down on my offense because this team is built to play that way, period. You've never had a Rashawn Holmes that can clean up so many messes when you do get into the half court. And obviously, your transition defense could fail you because you play so fast. But in the half court, if you have a Rashawn Holmes, he'll be fine. Honestly, he'll be fine. So those were the main points. Let me see. Those were the main points that De'Aaron Fox and Luke Walton went over. Again, the lines are open at 209-565-3079 if you want to talk and ask questions. I uploaded a small piece of what De'Aaron Fox said on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, if you guys want to check that out, to hear from him. What are people saying? So let's go over the schedule. First game, the Spurs. Second game, the Magic. Third game, the Mavericks. Fourth game, the Pelicans. Fifth game, the Nets. Sixth game, the Rockets. Seventh game, the Pelicans. And eighth game, the Lakers. It's going to be tough, man, because these teams want to win. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Lakers, if the Kings would have faced the Lakers that last week of the season and they had the number 1 seed clinched, They would have played all their bench players. This Laker team needs to prepare themselves for what's coming. And there's a lot of hungry teams in the West. I want to go after them because they are the Los Angeles Lakers, and they got LeBron James over there. They will not take it easy. They're not going to bench their players. They need to get back in shape, and they're going to do everything possible to eliminate the Kings if it comes down to it. That's going to be a tough game right off the bat. The Spurs, that first game, it needs to be a win. If it's not a win, I don't give this team a high chance of making the playoffs. It needs to be a win. Plain and simple. There is no excuses. And they need to beat the Pelicans twice. They need to beat the Pelicans twice. So right there, you got 2 games, and you got the Spurs. That's 3 wins. Even if you lose to the Mavericks, you have to beat the Nets. You must beat the Nets. So that would be 4 games right there. You have to beat the Magic. That would be 5 games. And so if you lose to the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Mavericks, that would be 5-3. 5-3 gets you into the 9 seed. 5-3 will get you into the 9 seed, and that's very, very possible for this Sacramento Kings team if there is no internal issues. If they pick up where they left off, which is, I think it's a huge possibility. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't have. If they're all back healthy, if they train hard, if they put the extra hours in during this time until July 30th, then they should pick up where they left off. Yeah, will there be a lot of mistakes, early turnovers, some rust? Absolutely, but that's why they're going to have 3 preseason games before they have these 8 games. So, or these scrimmages. What are people saying about Fox's contract? Yeah, and there were reports that he was concerned more so about injuries, really, and if there would be any guarantees for the Jason Tatums, the Donovan Mitchells, all those cats that are really good that were from the 2017 class, because extension time is coming. So that I think he discussed that today. I forget if he discussed that. If that was more of a concern than actual COVID, and it should be. It should be because athletes aren't machines, and it's not like you can just press a button and say, "Oh, I'm back to where I was." No, it doesn't work that way, and people have to understand that. It doesn't matter how athletic you are. You have to put the necessary hours and time of day to be where you were at, and who knows if they'll get to that point. I hope they do, and we'll see what happens. But they have to go 5-3 for them to even make the 9 seed. And 5-3 would get you. Would that even be enough to get the 8 spot outright? It may not be enough. So the 9 seed is very, very. It's there for them. It's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. Kings are just a little shaky. Exactly back to Vladdy's statement. I'll have my super team. Kings need a solid 2 guard that can make plays. Solid 2 guard, we have 2 of them. If we need anything, it's a small forward. Bogey looks like White Harden sometimes. So what are you thinking we're going to do about all these big men? Alex, who's your playmaker at 2? Buddy and Bogey 2-0 heading into the Mavs game. Added J.R. Smith. These are all beatable teams. I say the Rockets and Lakers, we take the L2. Can't stand Kojo's ball handling. Respect the Mavericks. Yeah, I mean, Kojo, it's tough to watch him dribble. I think Yogi should be playing, to be honest with you. I just feel like Yogi should be playing and just picking up the pace when De'Aaron goes to the bench and takes the rest. But, Kojo he's backed up by the front office and he's backed up by the coach. So he's definitely playing. And again, with Kojo, my biggest issue is him hesitating to shoot the ball. So many guys go under on the screens, and he hesitates so much, and he's so good when the shot clock is running down because he doesn't have to think. he has to put up a shot, and that should be his mentality at all times. Stop thinking and just take the shot. He shot the ball very well towards the end of the year. So can he pick up where he left off? I hope so. If we get that version of Corey Joseph, then the Kings are in good shape. I agree. If it all goes well, the best possible outcome is 5-3. Losers of the double bracket. I think we would need a new small forward, either trade, draft, or sign one. Alex, are you being serious? All Buddy does is shoot. Why do you think Luke benched him? Buddy can't make a play to save his life. That's a lie. Come on, stop it. That's a lie. Is Devin Vassell our draft crush? Without question. Devin Vassell is my draft crush. If the Kings stay in that area. Buddy was showing signs of improvement. He was trying. What pick do you think the Kings are going to get? I mean, it's just hard to say. It's hard to say because we don't have a lottery yet. We don't really have the actual list of where teams are going to draft. So, and again, to the whole Buddy Hield hate, Buddy Hield can make plays in the pick and roll. His issue is that when he goes up against a long wing defender, which is what you got to put up against a lethal shooter like him, he has to keep his dribble down, and he's been working on that very hard. I know he has. We'll see how it translates into the games, but he has a bad habit of dribbling kind of high when he's up against a long defender. Against a shorter defender or someone his size, he's fine. It's just the longer small forward when he gets hot, and that's when you see turnovers. He makes plays and he sees plays without question. Like, if you don't want to admit it, that's completely up to you. There's no way of me convincing you if the film shows how good he's been in the pick and roll. Now again, the way he was used all season, that's on Luke Walton. That's his fault. You have to bring Buddy off of screens, double stagger screens, and give him a live dribble. If he's bringing up the ball, it's more likely for him to turn the ball over because that's not his strength. And as a head coach, you must put your players in the best situations to succeed, period. Is Bagley back? He is back, and coach talked about in the Zoom meeting today that he's going to have to earn a spot, and that's the way it should be. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that he's healthy, and I'm happy that if he does play well in practice, in training camp, that he's going to get his minutes. But if he doesn't, and Alex Len outplays him, or Harry Giles outplays him, then that's the way it should be. I feel like every year we have the same draft crush, Leo. Still remembering watching the pre-draft lottery teams and getting picked 5, then 2. I remember just going crazy, E-Man and I, that year when the Kings got number 2, and we knew that Luka was there because the Suns were going to draft Aiden, and because their owner, Robert Sovereign, is an ASU alum, an Arizona University alum, and it was just a prophecy, right? Like, God, man, it makes me sick thinking that. I don't even want to think about that. Stop. I don't want to think about that. Man, like I don't. Play Buddy like Redick and Clay, straight common sense. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Honestly, like, this is ridiculous to me. Like, that's his strength. Again, you can put him in the pick and roll, but give him a live dribble in the half court where he doesn't have to waste energy coming out. And again, it's not like you're saying, well, it's not that big of a deal. He's not even running. No, but if he's running the wing and you bring him off of a screen, or you bring him off of just the wing to get the ball, pump fake, you have so many options. Now you can just see the floor and see, okay, where's everybody at? Rather than bring the ball up, bam, 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 bam. Like, that's not his strength, man. Like, people have to stop hoping that he's the number 3 shooter in the world. Arguably number 2. Why not use those strengths to your advantage? It makes no sense to me. Do you think Buddy Hield and Alex Len going to still play since they tested positive? I do think they'll play. They both feel very good. I know for a fact Buddy does. Alex said he's feeling very good. In terms of the bigs, man, you got one big in Rashawn Holmes that's guaranteed to play. He's the best out of the bigs. And you got Bagley, Len and Harry Giles. We'll see how that goes. I'm anxiously waiting to see the competition during the little training camp and just see who comes out. Because, again, you have to keep a short rotation. In these 8 games, there must not be so many players coming off the bench. That will be the biggest mistake ever. Biggest mistake ever. Like, you have to have a solidified bench. Um, that's it. Like, that's it. Again, the number is 209-565-3079 if you want to call in and talk about the NBA. So, I just see the Spurs as a win. The Magic needs to be a win. The Mavericks going to be a loss. The Pelicans needs to be a win. Or say you lose one game to the Pelicans, you have to get the win somewhere. Either the Rockets, the Mavericks, or the Lakers. The Rockets could be that team where the Kings can take advantage of their size. They've beaten them already. I can see the Kings beating the Rockets. So if they do drop one to the Pelicans, and y'all know that the NBA refs will be on the Pelicans side because the NBA wants the Pelicans to face the Lakers in that first round. What's up, Michael? I wish Jabari would play, but I don't think so. Yeah, he's not playing. All right, Expos, bring some facts or stop. What's gonna happen to Giles after the season? Well, before the pandemic, I for sure thought he was gonna leave, but now with the pandemic and seeing everything, who knows? Like, it's a possibility now that he could stay. But if I'm him and I'm looking at the depth chart and they're not taking me into account if a Bagley's there or if a Len is there, then why would I want to stay? Like, that makes no sense to me. I would want to go to a team that could value me and could put me in the rotation. So we'll see what happens. He was coming into his own. He's the best passer out of all those guys. He has a nice mid-range jump shot. He's very good offensively, but where he struggles is defensively when he has to move laterally. Obviously, we know about his history with his knees. He's just so talented, though. He's just so talented. Like, the things he can do when he's healthy is just really nice. Real good. Facts. If you could choose one player in the NBA to be on the Kings, who would it be? Obviously, Giannis. You put Giannis on the Kings, they're instantly a 61 team. How long till there's more teams added to the NBA? Been waiting for a Vegas team. I don't see any time soon, to be honest with you. I don't see it. Like, especially now with this pandemic, and I don't see any time soon, brother. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. So if y'all don't want to take a call, man, I'm gonna have to end this. Appreciate you guys. I feel like I've gone over everything. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Make sure you continue to support Cowbell Kingdom, and you go to Basketball Zone Official, our NBA Instagram page, and you follow, because we're consistently posting news on there, and it's some real good stuff. Some real good stuff, man. Can't wait for you guys to see the next graphics. I got a fire De'Aaron Fox one coming out today, and yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.